Picked up some of this 1-inch square tube, 1/8 inches thick, to make the doors out of. Why, but it will not cut 45s. The blade starts out fine, but then it just wanders way over. I've tried all different positions with the cut, placing the wheel directly over the top so that at a 45 the angle of the pipe doesn't push it off to the side, but it didn't seem to matter. It's just because that is Alright, just got back from town, picking up some tools. Gonna try out something new here to cut better 45s. We got a portable bandsaw, 10 amp, which should cut a whole lot cleaner. There will be less burrs I have to grind off. I think I can cut a whole lot straighter with one of these versus an angle grinder and a cutting wheel. If the cutting wheel isn't brand new, it won't go all the way through the square tube and I have to go around and cut underneath or flip the piece over, and that ends up giving me a pretty poor cut as well. So I think this is going to be an awesome upgrade. They have this really cool new benchtop stand to go with it. It's a universal portable bandsaw stand. It can either be a horizontal setup or you can even use this as a vertical deal, but I would just want to use this for the for being able to cut 45s. And I got a lot of 45s coming up. It will also make cutting exhaust pipe a whole lot easier when that time comes. This was $10. I don't know why it doesn't come with one, but there's a slot to put one of these on so you can clamp your piece down. Got two packs of blades, cobalt, bimetal. So we should be all set up for some cutting. Come with extra set of brushes. There we go, portable bandsaw. I think that would help out a lot all by itself, just making cuts instead of using the it's working. Ooh, that's heavy with something in there. Yeah, so there you go. A little cutting jig for the portable bandsaw. A way to set 45s. That's nice. A little shock. Let's just push up or something. Let's see what this does. Oh, yeah, it's the vertical plate. So you can set this up as a vertical bandsaw. Get hardware to mount it. Okay, they make it pretty easy with these instructions. Just gotta take the handle off. There's your front bracket. Screws in, looks like where the handle went. Handy to get some markings on them. And here's the Bauer handsaw. That's the one I need. The Bauer set. Trigger bar. All with its parts. Pretty neat little set. So this. Bracket on that. It's all working pretty, or it's going together pretty good, except for this back part. This is pinching too far on the end of the handle. It wants to push it backwards, so I'm gonna have to do something with some zip ties. But that's not a very good fit for this Bauer. Might fit other saws a little better, but yep. Freaking cool. Alright, I can see that blade is pretty crooked, so we're going to adjust these handles until that is straight. Alright, that is pretty straight. Pretty straight. Alright, there, it's about 45. Okay, so that needs to be touching the line, not covering it. Marks are not quite in very good spots, but they're pretty dang close. I'm surprised how good they are. So 45 is like right there, 0 is just a little bit forward. Right about there. That works out great. Yeah, no, that is doable. That is freaking neat. So 45, go like that. Wait till it hits that line. Confusing. Yeah, pretty dang. That's accurate. Pretty cool. Should help me cut a bunch of 45s. Yeah. A little finicky trying to get this all just right. But, yeah, that's pretty neat. Okay, that took a little more finessing to get that perfect. This trigger bar sits a little too low with it mounted in its standard position, so I had to stick it on top so it would actually hit the switch. And that's still pretty low, but it works. It's pretty cool. On-off switch there. And I also cut a little 1 1/8 inch wide block to help these pads hold on to the handle there. Otherwise they tend to squeeze unevenly and kind of pushes them toward the front. So that's in there solid. Alright, a little clamp. Alright, let's clean up this end. Also, I should mention, to make this work, I had to move this plate up to its next notch. That's what these second measurements are. Here's the first notch, here's the second notch, and all it has is a 0 and a 45, so that kind of sucks, but I only need to cut 45, so that's fine. You move it forward, because at a 45, the pipe runs into this thing. So you move that 1 notch forward and it clears it. Let's double check the 45 on that. That's a pretty accurate mark. Just bring it right up to the line. Pin it down, and that's your 45. Let's double check on the blade. Yeah, that looks great. All right. Kind of an awkward spot for that clamp to grab, but it can't get too much closer. And it's sitting flat, so. I feel inclined to put oil on this for cutting, but this has rubber pads on these blade wheels, and I don't think I should be. I think it needs. I'm not sure if this is a machine that can have oil in it or on the blade. I don't know. I think I'm just going to try cutting a few times without oil and see how long the blade lasts. And maybe we'll try cutting another time with oil, but I think that's going to make a huge mess and might not be good for the function of this tool. I don't know. pretty slow on the cutting, but holy moly, that cuts really clean compared to the chop saw. A lot quieter, don't have to wear my earplugs, and it's not throwing sparks. And that is a perfect 45. Holy crap, that is cool. It's a good little upgrade there. Yeah, that is nice. A little slow on the cut. Still feeling pretty sharp. I don't know if I could put oil on this. It's got these rubber pads on these blade wheels, so I don't know if that's a good idea. Guess we'll use it a few times and see what I think. Perfect 45. That's awesome. I also love how skinny the blade is. Makes it really easy to see where you're cutting. Wow, those fit together so nice now. Cuts at a little bit of an inward angle. Maybe try cutting with a little less pressure, but it is doing the job. It is way better than the chop saw. It starts out cutting over here, and then it comes in like maybe 1/32 of an inch. That could be just how this thing is. Yeah, see, it starts at the top and then toward the bottom. Got a little gap. But that works for me. That is so much better than what the chop saw was doing. Okay, I think we got all our pieces cut. The door handle, door frame. Blade's still plenty sharp, that's good. You get quite a few cuts out of one of these. I like how portable it is. Cord wrap there. Takes up less space than a chop saw too. So the more I think about it, the more I realize that putting more pressure might have caused that bandsaw to cut a little more crooked. And it was only the first cut that I was putting very light pressure on because I was nervous about the, my first time using it. Wasn't sure how much pressure to put. So the next few times I put a little bit more pressure on it because just wanted to see how fast I could cut. And I think that might be the issue. One down. That turned out good. Passenger side turned out a little bit too long or too tall, so I used the width of a cutting wheel to chop this in half, and that should bring that down to what I need. A little adjustment there. Got some more of these weldable hinges. We'll do 2 on each side. And since the hinge is going to be horizontal and the weight from the door will be resting on the pin and not on that brass spacer, I'm going to go ahead and take those out. Just use that without the brass spacer. Save these for spares for the back door. couple of cabinet doors. Since this is 1 inch and this is 1.5, I'm going to put a piece of trim on the inside here, maybe even as thick as a 1/4 inch, and that'll give me a 1/4 inch gap for some weather stripping. And I'm going to scratch the idea of reusing those RV door handles, which I wanted to do because I bought them and I can't return them, but that's going to be a lot of work for something that's not really, they don't really work that great. They have issues with the key working. Well, the one I opened got the key stuck for like a whole minute. The key went in but it wouldn't come out. So they're feeling kind of cheap, and I found something online. Just a couple of small locks. I don't think I'll be getting in here too often. This won't be I mean, there'll be a lot of space down there, but there's going to be tanks, batteries. So I'm not going to be getting in here too much. So I think just a couple of simple locks. Nice thing about these, you can take it off and work on it. Plus, I like the idea of having 2 locks instead of just one latch right in the center of the door. I'd rather have 2 on each end. And, yeah, this probably just wouldn't work out as good. Came up with something a lot simpler to make for the locking system on these cabinet doors with one of those standard mailbox type keys. Ordered a set of 4, and they have a latch with a hole on the end of the latch, so I can attach a bar and just make my own thing with it, unless just so happens that these are long enough to catch on the inside edge that I'm going to weld for a backstop and a place to stick on some weather stripping. I kind of don't think so. Even if they could, I don't like the idea of using those flimsy tabs on these, so I'm going to use a couple pins and some bars to connect them, a little pivoting thing in the middle so that it could pull them both in with just one action of the key. I did get a set of 4 just in case those are long enough, but those usually aren't. Those latches are usually pretty flimsy, and I don't want to put those on my nice heavy duty doors, so I'm going to use some pins. I'm going to go with some 3/8 inch, and we'll get some steel tube as well so I can make a sleeve for them to slide in and out of. We can pull both pins in with the key attached by another little bar, and I like that idea a whole lot better.